Hey guys, what's up? It's Sarah. Welcome to Diving In Blindly. Everybody keeps calling me and I can't get my book read, so I have to keep starting over and it's driving me insane. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed tonight's story. I was going to do Hans Christian Andersen weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed The Little Mermaid, but The Snow Queen is like 93 pages and I wasn't even halfway through and I was already at 41 minutes. So I changed my mind and we're going to go to Princesses and do Cinderelly. If you guys want me to read The Snow Queen, let me know. I will. I don't have a problem reading it, but it's so long and I don't know if I could keep people entertained. It'd probably be like 2 hours or 2.5 at least. So I don't know. I didn't realize it was a long book. I thought it was like a little fairy tale for kids. But I thought The Little Mermaid was too, and that was like an hour. So we're going to go on and we're going to read Cinderelly. Cinderelly is a modern day Cinderella story that was written sometime in the 90s, and I've always liked the story. We read it in class and they brailled the book for me, and I had the braille book, and we had to put a play on of the story of Cinderelly. So it was really, really cool, and so I hope that you guys enjoy the story. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Cinderelly. Ellie was good and she was pretty. She lived with her folks in New York City. That girl was so good with Mom and Dad and Sue and Nellie. Her sisters were mean to Cinderelly. When school let out, they'd watch TV. They'd ask Cinderelly to serve iced tea, or else they'd play a video game, but they never asked Ellie to do the same. Sometimes when Ellie was washing the floor, they'd slide across it and out the door. What do you think would happen then? Why, Ellie would have to wash it again. Shocking. Ellie cleaned up 'cause she liked to be neat, from the hair on her head to the toes on her feet. She worked so hard it was a pity she had no fun in New York City. Don't fret, Ellie, things will get better soon. But then one day, Elle got a note. So did her sisters. Somebody wrote, Sue, Elle, and Nellie, we picked your name. You've won free tickets to a basketball game. I told you things would get better. We accept with pleasure, said Sue and Nellie. And I do too, said Cinderelly. Her sisters just looked at her and smiled. And then they said, you can't go, child. Maybe I was wrong, but I'm invited. It says so there. You're too young, Ellie, and you've nothing to wear. I'll shop, said Ellie, but you've no money. Ellie's mother agreed. They're so right, honey. There's no money for 3, only money for 2. Let your sisters go, Ellie. They're older than you. So Ellie's big sisters went right out shopping, and Ellie stayed home and did the mopping. Poor Cinderelly. The night of the game, as Elle watched them go, an old lady came by and said, Ellie, hello. Excuse me, said Elle, but I know all the dangers. I'm never allowed to speak to strangers. I'm your godmother, Ellie. Don't you recognize me? Last time I saw you, you were 2 or 3. Ellie's grown a bit since then. I'm here because we have things to do. Keep your eyes on my cane. I have something for you. What could it be? Oh, whoa. Sorry, skipping the descriptions of the pictures. She waved her cane once. Elle squealed like a flute. Her clothes had turned into a basketball suit. And here's something else to go with your clothes. Glass sneakers, said Godma. You'll need 2 of those. one for each foot. Now wait, godmother, hold on a minute. I'm just watching the game. I don't want to be in it. Oops, said the lady, excuse my mistake. Let's see what else my cane can make. And poof, Ellie wore a satiny shirt with a beautiful flowery red miniskirt. You look great, Elle. Ellie was happy, 'cause she looked so fine. Now go to the game and have a good time. Thank you, dear Godma. I'm glad that you came, but how am I going to get to the game? That's an easy one, dear. I've got a plan. I'll send you off on this old garbage can. Oh, godmother, people don't ride on garbage cans, do they? She waved her cane and said kerplike. The garbage can became a bike. Elle got right on and almost fell off, 'cause riding a bike in glass sneakers is tough. You'll be fine, Elle. I know that is true. There's just one thing I ask of you. Be home by 10 or else, my dear, your pretty new clothes will disappear. Oh, oh. No problem, purred Ellie, as sweet as a kitty. Then she rode off through New York City. The game was just starting when Elle got to her seat. Out ran Prince Charming. People rose to their feet. So that's the famous Prince Charming. Let's go, Prince Charming, Elle yelled with the rest. Of all her school's players, Prince was the best. Prince was passing the ball, but he looked at the stands. Boom! Some huge guy knocked the ball from his hands. Ellie stood on her toes and raised her arms fast. She caught that ball before it flew past. Hooray! Yelled the crowd, except Sue and Nellie. The sisters just stared at Cinderelly. Is that Ellie? Asked Sue. No, that's a bad guess. She's older than Ellie and much better dressed. Here's the ball, Ellie shouted as she threw it up high. In the future, be careful. Thanks, miss, I'll try. Prince stared at Ellie and said, glad to meet ya. After the game, let's go get some pizza. What's your name? He asked. I can't tell you, I fear, for Elle was afraid that her sisters might hear. When the game ended, the other side clapped. They were good sports, even though they got zapped. Will you wait for me, please? Prince stopped by Elle's chair. I'll shower and change and blow dry my hair. Elle stayed till the clock blinked 9:58. In 2 more minutes, she would be late. She got up and ran. It's sad, but it's true. A lace came undone, and she lost a glass shoe. But she couldn't stop now, so she hurried on. All she saw was a trash can. Her bike was gone. I was afraid this would happen. Ellie waved at the can, and she said kerplike, but the can wouldn't change back into a bike. Then she looked at her clothes. Oh no, they're the same as the ones I was wearing before Godmother came. She waved at her clothes. Poof, they did not change either. Where's Godmother? She wondered, now that I need her. Meanwhile, Prince Charming, looking pretty cool, was busy citing photos for the fans at school. When he was finished, he looked all about. Ellie wasn't inside, so Prince went out. Outside, he saw no one, just some girl who ran off down the street. with a huge garbage can. But on the steps he spied one sparkly shoe. "This sneaker," said Charming, "gives me a clue. Why does Prince Charming need the shoe?" Next morning, Cinderelly called, but his number was... Wait. Next morning, Cinderelly tried giving Prince a call, but his number wasn't listed in the book at all. At the same time, Charming sat at a table. He drew the sneaker as well as he was able. Beneath it he wrote for all to see, "If you lost the sneaker, please telephone me." Then he wrote his name and phone number too. He went to the copy shop to print a few. Prince taped his copies once they were complete to every single lamppost on that busy street. Many women phoned him with feet too big or small. Prince Charming wasn't happy. Won't the right one ever call? "Hey gang, look out! Here's Sue, here's Nellie," with the poster to show to Cinderelly. "Let's call up Prince," said Sue and Nellie. "That's not your shoe," said Cinderelly. "Oh no," they said, "but we'll try it since how else could we ever meet a real live prince?" They phoned Prince Charming, and just as they planned, he dropped in to visit with the sneaker in hand. Prince was surprised by Nellie and Sue. He said, "I don't remember either of you." Sue tried the shoe and fell down flat. "Poor Sue," laughed Nell, "your foot's too fat." Next Nellie tried and went into a tizzy. The shoe was so tight it made her feel dizzy. "Serves them both right." Then Ellie came out from where she'd been looking. Her sisters yelled, "Ellie, go back." Her sisters yelled, "Ellie, go back to your cooking." Cinderella sat down and put on the shoe. Then she took out the other and put that one on too. "Excuse me," called someone. "May I come in?" "Please do," said Ellie. "Godma, where have you been?" "I've been busy," she answered, "but I know my duty to see Cinderella and her friend, Prince Cutie." "Prince Charming," he corrected. "Well, how do you do? It's time you saw Ellie in the clothes that you knew." Poof, poof, she waved. Ellie's clothes became the ones she had worn to the basketball game. "Yikes," screamed the sisters. "Shh," Godmother told them. "You deserve a good scolding." And she started to scold them. "You're forgiven," said Ellie. "I'm sure that you've seen that it's awfully wrong to be terribly mean." "You're right, Cinderella, and we promise we know it. If ever we feel mean again, we just won't show it." Prince said to Ellie, "Let's go spread the news." "Wait," Prince said Ellie, "till I change my shoes." They walked down the street, holding hands pretty snappy, and everyone lived forever happy. I'm so glad everything turned out all right. Aren't you? I hope you guys liked that story. And I will see you next time. We're going to either read Snow White tomorrow or Cinderella. Cinderella. Jeez. Woo. Crazy. Cinderella or Snow White. Thinking I might do Snow White and then Cinderella to break it up a little. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know about the Snow Queen because it is long. Yeah, so that didn't work out. But I hope you liked the story. It's always been one of my favorites and I really like it.